Hello, hello. How's it going, everybody? Let's move this up just a skosh. Today we're going to continue our trip through Land of Cyberpunk Shadowrun on Super Nintendo. So yesterday, as I recall, we left off at exploring the vampires' Dark Blade Club, I believe it was. And found a couple of things. We've got the true name of the Jester Spirit. We've got the location of Bremerton, I believe it is, in which they want us to get mermaids to move out of the way because the water is warm from the sewer. It's not great. Not a pleasant universe. Glad I don't live in it. You ever see those posts where it's like, oh, the last game that you played is the world that you suddenly wake up in. Where are you? I'm like, this would be not great. I don't know that there's any pro to the number of cons here. Major Rage TV, how are you? Greetings and salutations to you. And evening to you, James, as well. It's been a warm 19C. I haven't had to do that since high school. It's I think it's in the 80s here. Fahrenheit, of course. In freedom degrees? It's yeah, somebody else will have to say it. Seattle slander. I got nothing against Seattle, but this version of Seattle, let me tell you. Geodude, how are you? Good to see you. I'm happy to be here. I considered canceling today. Not because I don't love y'all, but I wasn't feeling my best today. Didn't sleep well last night. Woke up not feeling great. But I really want to get through this game. I really am enjoying it. Decided we're still going to go. Might be a little lower energy than the usual sort of manic streams that we do here. But, you know, train of thought being what it is and all that. But we'll do our best. That's okay. We're still going to fight samurai and mages and all that stuff. So, Major Rage, how has Clair Obscure been for you? I saw you were playing that yesterday. And that's one that I'm really looking forward to checking out myself at some point. And I was not expecting... You know, like that game came in through the PR emails and stuff like that. And I was not expecting it to blow up the way that it did. I suppose I should start expecting like a big turn-based RPG to blow up every single year, sometimes multiple times a year. Metaphor seemed like it did very well for itself. You know, Baldur's Gate 3. Now this game, and I think it's just fulfilling a yearning that people have got. You know. Well, let's see. How's it going, Ray? He dropped something other than money. I did not see anything. I have no idea how good your eyes are, but they're better than mine because I did not see anything. Obviously, this is all on recording, so I could go back later. He dropped a vest. Was it like lying on top of him? We just started, so I could reset if it's not there. You know how their bodies just like turn gray? Yeah, there's like, so yeah, I'm assuming it would despawn then. Okay, let's go check that theory. All enemies have the same sprite when dead. That one had something black on top. It's such a muddy sprite that it's kind of difficult to tell. I recall that first boss where you get the firearm from dropped a vest, but that was like the first time I'd seen a body in this game, I think. So I just thought to interact with it, if I remember right. Here, though, I mean, they just turn into... Maybe it's the CRT image, but it just looks like they turn into like a brown blob. So that's the second time I didn't see that. Let me take a look. If it is a vest, that's absolutely worth restarting for. Because, yeah, it's right at the beginning. Oh, I'll be more than happy to check out Clear Obscure Mage. And it's not like I'm hurting for RPGs at this point, but I like to try to keep up with some current stuff. You know, playing through every Super Nintendo RPG is wonderful, but it's also only one tiny section of the whole of RPG history. So, you know. Okay, let's see this. Funny because I've seen comparisons to Lost Odyssey. Lost Odyssey at the time got really bad reviews. Lost Odyssey was out during that period when Western journalists hated JRPGs. Is that correct? I feel like that's correct. Not exactly sure. And I think also it being on that that the system that it wound up landing on. I mean, like, you don't think of Xboxes being synonymous with JRPGs or anything. You know, see, that does look like something black there now that you say it. And I guess that could be a vest? Yeah, look at those two different bodies there. Okay, let's see. That is a mesh jacket. Thank you, sir. I absolutely did not see that at all. Is it the exact same jacket that I'm already wearing? Oh, that's weird. But you could get a free one without having to purchase one then, I guess, is the plus. Huh. Well, bummer. It's not something new. But we are going to go ahead and sell it. So there's a bit of extra cash there. Yeah, wrong console that it was out. And it's a shame the modernist perspective. The thing, the irksome part for me with modernism is always like genocidal. Modernism is always annihilatory. Modernism is always like against variety, it seems like. Modernism is always about, let's stick to this one trend forever. I've never met a modernist who doesn't think that. Whereas, like, I like playing modern games. I like playing old games. I like variety. I definitely wouldn't want, like, an entire subgenre to go away. So, like, you'll hear things like, you know, hey, we should bring back turn-based RPGs, or let's have more turn-based RPGs. But I would never say that to the point of, let's flat out stop making action RPGs. That would be ridiculous to say. That is a bummer. It's a shame. But at least we got stuff. So, I guess I gotta pay closer attention to these brown blobs that drop things. But yeah, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Okay. You can give equipment to the Shadowrunners you hire, assuming have the strength to equip it. Oh, that's interesting. We could do that. I don't plan to have them around too often. I've mostly been doing it for coolness factor, to be honest. But that's something we could play around with. I wonder what it sells for. For a little while, the 360 was the superior JRPG console to PS2? Or was that PS3? I couldn't imagine that being true for PS2. PS2 was like a JRPG powerhouse. PS3, yeah, less so. The PS3 era is when I dipped out on gaming entirely. I was like, you guys can keep this kind of like monochrome, rather. Yeah, 360 versus PS3. Okay. So 360 had Blue Dragon on it. Lost Odyssey. What else was good for JRPGs on that system? PS3 had the Final Fantasy. Well, Final Fantasy 13 was multiplat, though, wasn't it? So true action-based have their place. Look at the Tales of series. Yeah, there's been action RPGs since the early 80s. But the thing that, you know, to harp on modernism again, the thing that modernists aren't getting is that action combat is not a natural evolution of turn-based combat. Somehow they seem to think that developers always wanted to make action RPGs but couldn't because of hardware limitations. When that's not true. Like they're like the earliest action RPGs from like 1984. There's been plenty of action RPGs on early systems. NES has multiple action RPGs. So it's the sort of thing you'd read on Reddit, you know? If that's what that opinion feels like to me. Okay, it looks like we're down a little bit of health, and the ghouls down here hit pretty heavy, so we're just going to do that and make sure. Which didn't go well. And I feel like trying to break into that market on the Xbox too doesn't make sense. I can't imagine the meatheads. I'm not to be offensive to anybody. I don't think that the base for Xbox, especially at the time, was going to be into JRPGs, and it turns out that was accurate. Let's see. Okay, that was a period where they started to care more about graphics than gameplay. Oh, PS3? Yeah. I mean, potentially as early as PS2. But I mean, I think graphics are great, and I think you can have graphics and good gameplay, right? But there's definitely part of that modernism that is like, let's put graphics above everything else. Which is a shame. Like, I've played some beautiful modern games that are essentially just hold down circle through the entire game, aka Final Fantasy 15. Like, characters will use Phoenix Downs on themselves. It's a little ridiculous. Let's see. I don't want to get stuck down here. Oh, you do like FF13. I think FF13, I think I gave it a 4 when I reviewed it. Because for me, that's below average. That's not a like, oh, 4, worst game ever kind of thing. Like, I've absolutely played worse RPGs than Final Fantasy 13. Dramatically worse RPGs than Final Fantasy 13. Oh my gosh, the zombies down here. Ugh. Oh, this is terrifying. Okay. Alright, that got a little hairy there for a second. Oh man, 8 out of 10? I mean, everybody's kind of got their different scale, right? For me, 8 out of 10 is like, that's a really high score. That's like a truly great score, you know? 9, like, almost perfect. I would consider if 10's the highest score, 10's got to be rare. But yeah, I would say that Final Fantasy 13 is a below average RPG. I don't know about the context of just PS3 RPGs or just RPGs from that generation. But yeah, I'm pretty comfortable. So is this just like an infinite spawn right here? Because it feels that way. Certainly a lot of ghoulies in here. And I'm not really getting like drops or anything like that. Okay, let me try and get out of here. Oh boy. Oh, 7 karma? Okay. Okay, whew. Alright, let me catch up here on chat. Someone also made a good point that FF13's development was harmed significantly by spirits within bombing so badly. Oh, for sure. FF13 is 1000% a product of all of the shifting dynamics in Square Enix. It is definitively a Square Enix RPG in my mind, not a Square RPG. And you know, with the whole, I can't even remember that ridiculous name. You're like, Veritas Crystallatum, you know, that whole long sort of thing. That longish name. And they were like, we're going to make it a whole series. And that just fell apart. It was clear that they had development issues. And I think that's seen in the final product for Final Fantasy 13. Let's see. Yeah, too many corridors. Yeah, for sure. It's a really unbalanced game in that, like, you're always wanting that big open area, and it happens so compartmentalized at the end of the game that you've got, you know, like when I played it, I spent so much time just doing stuff in, I'm just going to do this for a minute. In doing stuff in that open area of, what was it, Cocoon? I can't remember the name of it. That I eventually forgot what the plot was about, because that's not how pacing works in a story. And whereas the rest of the story is you kind of just running down these narrow, straight hallways with no deviation at all. So it's a really, I guess, unbalanced is a good way to put it. There's a lot of characters in that I really can't stand. I think Saz is a great character. Hope is a really awkwardly written character. Snow is awkward. Lightning is kind of just there. I liked Fang. Vanille is like every annoying like anime trope, like for me, with a squeaky voice and all that sort of thing. I think here's something for Final Fantasy 13's favor. I think that, you know, with the departure of Uematsu, it's not a bad soundtrack. I think there's some good stuff in there. Some of it sounds like generic kind of J-rock and elevator music. Some of it does sound pretty cool, at least to me. I do think the strongest thing for 13 is it has an interesting world. We're just not... I don't know. I guess... And this is probably like the main consensus, is we're just not presented that world in like an interesting way. We're sort of rushing through it, getting to something that eventually happens, and you go around doing stuff and forget where the plot's going. But yeah, 4 out of 10 for me, below average. What would be, here's an interesting thought. What would be a below average score for you on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, well, if you were to look at like if you were to look at the number of, so this is great. This conversation is what I live for right here. I can talk about video game criticism all day long, the craft of it. But yeah, if you look at a number, and given a number is just a placeholder, but you look at a number and you think, oh, okay, this is a below average score. It's not a like hateful score. Like I've been told, you know, you criticize a game sometimes. People are like, well, you're just a hater. It's like, no, this is literally what a critic does, is you know, ascribing value. Oh boy, that was real close. Okay, I'm gonna try getting closer over here. My gosh. How much? Okay, I do still have plenty of magic, because I don't want to run out of magic here. Try to set 5 out of 10 as average. Good for you. Me too. Me too. For me, when I use the 10-point scale, 5 out of 10 makes sense to me as average. I get some people interpret the 10-point scale as like school grades. That doesn't really make sense. But if you're going to use school grades, you just got to be transparent about that, you know? Oh, this is fun, just standing here shooting zombies. I might even be able to catch up on chat while doing this. Type 0 I've not played. That era of Final Fantasy is pretty messy for sure. I still haven't fully recovered, really. They're still in that kind of identity crisis phase. Now, I wonder often if once they hit, you know, the 20s for Final Fantasy, if things will be a little more cohesive. But the way it is, there's like dramatic changes between each game, seems like. Slightly below average and definitely below average. That's an interesting perspective too, yeah. Yeah, I would say garbage is like 2 or lower. Like, but that's pretty rare. Like, what would you say is a game that deserves like a 1 out of 10? And depending on who you ask, it kind of reveals more about themselves than about the game. You know, so like if you ask somebody, you know, what is a 1 out of 10 and they say Super Mario Brothers or Final Fantasy 7, then you know, like they're kind of full of baloney. But seriously, I think that whoa, there's more stuff. Okay. I wasn't sure if it was done spawning. Cheetah Men 2. Badly executed RPG Maker games. That's a cool reference there. Come on. Oh, I don't want to get hit by this guy. The Rugrats themed Mario Party ripoff for N64. Oh, we're going deep here. Now I got to try and think of a 1. This is an easy mention, but I really do think E.T. on Atari is that bad. I've played it through to completion, and there's pretty much nothing fun about that. But I will even like I met a guy who defended Atari E.T. He was just like, you know, people just don't get it, and like you just say that because you like AVGN. I've never seen an AVGN episode in my life. I'm a video game critic. Why would I watch AVGN? Like, that's a comedian. Nothing wrong with what he does. Let's not confuse that with actual video game criticism or anything like that. It's pretty bad. I mean, the only thing that you do in that game is just walk around and then mash a button. I don't know what the challenge is. I don't understand, you know, what the fun factor is in E.T. And there's like a bunch of broken games, you know, that I can think of, but at least you can kind of imagine, okay, this is what the fun factor is. I'm not sure what the fun factor is in E.T. So that's why I would put it that low. Bubsy 3D. One of my least favorite 3D games is Earthworm Jim 3D. Just because I really liked Earthworm Jim as a kid. But Earthworm Jim 3D, oof. You know what? I kind of feel like I should go save and use some karma, because that was a lot. That was a lot of karma, and I don't wanna waste that. The trap zombies, Aegis. Yeah, that's right. Although those are all sub 2. Blasto, I don't know of. What about Crazy Bus? Crazy Bus. Boom, 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 boom. Heal, don't take chances. I mean, I should be able to make it there from now. But I know this is a dumb question because no game is perfect, but what would you consider a 10 or a close to perfect game? So that is an interesting question. Let me provide a little background on that. So I've written video game criticism for 9 years now, I think. Coming on 10 years next February. No. That's not accurate. Because I've had 3 websites. So I think we're looking at more like 13 years. And I bring that up to emphasize that this is something that I've thought about a lot. So I tend to use a definition of perfection, which in my view is practical. I feel like most people use perfection in kind of an idealistic sense, as an unachievable sort of, you know, state, right? For me, oh my goodness, 51 karma? Okay, we're going to spend a little time there, I think. We're going to spend a little time there. My goodness. That's quite impressive. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that some more, because that's pretty wonderful. Okay, so that's not the definition of perfect that I use. I don't use perfect as sort of like godhood. Like, you could never have a human being that becomes so good at everything that they become God, right? Like, that's not the definition of perfection I use. The definition I use is Aristotelian, which is a concept of completeness or wholeness. So that is perfect is something which you cannot add to or take away from without doing significant damage. And I think this works because of the utility of video games. So a lot of people think of, and this came up recently in chat, a lot of people think of video games as art. I think of video games as art because they're comprised of the creative processes that make them. But I don't think that being art makes them 100% subjective. And here's why. You spend $60 on a brand new video game, you take it home, it crashes at the title screen, wipes all your, your data, everything that could possibly go wrong with it goes wrong. And you can never get past that title screen. Now, no matter how beautiful that title screen looks and how nice the music is, it is objectively bad that you spent money on a product that does not work. Okay, the functionality of the video game is intrinsic, and it is essential to how the video game is presented, right? So that gives us at least a bottom to this concept of completeness. If a video game is incomplete to the point that is unplayable, then you've got a product that cannot be used. Okay, doesn't matter if it has your favorite color or whatever in it. Again, the subjective aspect. So then, is there a top to that? There's a bottom. Is there a top? The top would be, again, in this concept of perfection as completeness, the notion that there's nothing that you could add or take away without doing significant damage. Now, that would obviously have to be demonstrated on an individualistic level. So you couldn't make broad sweeping claims, but I think this is easiest to see with very simple games. You'll often hear people say Tetris, for example, is the perfect game. And the reason for that is because Tetris as a concept is fairly simple. You can actually see how they've ruined Tetris in various other versions. Like, play Tetris, say, on the NES, and then play Tetris 2. And you're like, okay, these have to always be like these original shapes. Once you start the tetraminos, once you start adding like quintaminos and stuff like that, it falls apart. They've got to be tetraminos. Quintaminos, tetraminos is like the same thing, but you get what I'm saying, hopefully. So that's the working concept of perfection, if that all made sense. That was a lot of words. Thanks for coming today, class. Yeah, Hatris, exactly. How's it going, Krypton? Okay, here we go. No game is perfect. Think you're always fine and flow, but ultimately you're comparing them to other video games, so something has to be the best game for your own taste. I agree with that to an extent. I think that a flaw is a term that has to be defined, right? We should always be able to identify flaws, but that really does depend on what your definition of perfect is. If your definition of perfect is, it's 100% flawless, then we need a definition of what flaws are, and two, we need to be able to pinpoint whatever the flaws are in a specific game. So anyway, them's the content. So for 10 out of 10s, I've given maybe three or four out in the past few years, and that's under an operative completeness sense. So, long answer to a very short question. I beg your pardon. But these are the things that keep me up at night. Oh, do we want to heal? Okay, Daddy Ray said to heal. We're going to heal. Let's see. Welcome to my Red Talk. I was trying to do the Red Talk thing at one point. It didn't work out, so I abandoned that. How is it going to RPG Elements? How's it going? Ooh, a flaw is Nomura in the writer's room. Some people ought to stick to their strengths, and yeah, I think that Nomura is a great artist and not a great, I don't know. We're not gonna go that route because he might be listening. Nomura could just be browsing Twitch and like, oh, this guy's playing Shadowrun. I love Shadowrun, and he comes in and feels insulted. That would be embarrassing for everybody. Mostly me, but also everybody. Hey, now, you guys. Oh shoot. this is, I mean, it's great amount of experience, but wow, is it a tough area. The fourth one will, how much of a fine science do you have this down to? The fourth one will jump over the others? That's pretty crazy. That is wild. Okay. I mean, they spawn at a pretty fast rate. That's a lot. I guess we can dump some karma into firearm once we're out of here. These ghouls like hugs. Symphony of the Night. Okay. Really difficult to fight ghouls and look at chat. Let me look at chat real quick. Don't give many 10 out of 10s. Chrono Trigger is one of them. Yeah, Chrono Trigger would be one that I would give as well. There are flaws in the localization of Chrono Trigger. So, like objective grammatical flaws. So I would default to the uncut original Japanese version. But I think looking at it as a whole, again, in a sense of completeness. So I've spoken with people who are like, you know what Chrono Trigger needs is like a tactical setup before each battle where you could move your character across the field before the fight starts. And I'm like, I don't think that that's a meaningful addition. And this is what I mean by something that you add or subtract without doing damage. I think that would actually dramatically slow the pace of the game down. So it's like, yeah, you're adding something, but what is kind of the trade-off for adding that? The trade-off is you've really turned the pacing into something extremely slow. Now you're making it a totally different genre, really, a tactical RPG. So yeah, them's the thoughts. It's a great question, though. Thanks for asking. Again, I love this sort of question. Okay, they spawn so quickly. So quick. It's too fantastic. Right, and typically, and that's one example that sticks in my mind. I've heard other examples of, things that people would add to Chrono Trigger, but I don't know that any of those would be meaningful additions, right? So, one was endings. There should be more endings in Chrono Trigger, but I'm not sure how much more meaning that adds to Chrono Trigger. I'm not sure how you would break that up, because Chrono Trigger is rather short, really. It's not a long game. I guess what causes them, not the amount. People talk about running zombies, but rarely jumping ones. They do jump. And so The Walking Dead, The Jumping Dead. Mario Brothers 3 is one that I gave a 10 out of 10 as well. The PS5 version of Shadow of the Colossus was another one. I really wanted to give Journey a 10 out of 10. I think I gave it a very tough 9. There's often games that I want to give a 10 out of 10 to, but the way that we structure our reviews at thepixels.com, that's the-pixels.com, makes it difficult to kind of get the score that you want, which is good because you don't want reviewers to pad the numbers in such a way that inflate their personal preference. You want them to try and be as objective as possible. Can be tough. But the system it tries to work against that as much as possible. I gotta get rid of these guys. God of War 2018? That's the remake one. I mean, wasn't that one like widely celebrated, right? Or you didn't expect to enjoy? I gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, there's very few things in PS2 Shadow of the Colossus that I think are worth changing. A couple of those are like UI type stuff and control mechanisms that I think they rectified on PS5. This is working off of a few years' knowledge, though. And I think the higher fidelity in the graphics better serves that particular game's presentation. But, man, this is a great place to grind. I'm just gonna camp here for like the next hour and a half, like forever. I'm just gonna do this the whole stream today, which is great because, like I was saying, I'm feeling out of it today. So shooting zombies in a corner, good times were had by all. Does the website only review older games? No, it actually, one of our mottos has always been any game, any era, any platform. So we've reviewed old games, new games, abandonware, indies, AAAs, AA's, quadruple A batteries. We've reviewed hardware. We've done mobile games. We've done PC games, console games, any game of any kind, really. Our writing team is global, so it's whatever anybody wants to claim a review for. Recently, you know, I've been reviewing a lot of older RPGs just because that's what I've been playing. But I also reviewed Total War Warhammer 2 recently, which is not at all a retro RPG. So for me, it really just depends on what I'm playing. Oh boy. No, this spot. Screw those guys that spawn in that spot. Now, this is where I think you were onto it, Ray. Is it seems like when there's two zombies spawn at the other end of that coffin, that the third one pops up at the top. But I don't know. Maybe that's not accurate. It's tough to say, but I know once they're up there that that gets a little iffy. For sure. For sure. Absolutely abuse this spot. Oh, just like this? Because that's 100% what we're doing right now. Grinding stream hype. This reminds me of the old 7th Saga days, really. Oh, see, and the heal notifications come in too slow. I always want to call you Daddy Ray now. You're always telling me what to do. The notifications come in too slow because there's a lag, right? So by the time I see it, I either would have been dead if I didn't see the HP. But I'm doing my best. I won't let you down. Until I do. No, I won't let you down. No, I won't let you down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't let you down until I do. That's what I always tell my kids. I won't let you down until I do. All right, let's see. Seen on social media, people excited about Persona Gotcha. Only just a week after saying they prefer grown-ups to school kids. Yeah, social media is very much like all over the place when it comes to opinions. I mean, you'll see people flip-flopping constantly. It's a trendy place, you know. Pacing, one of the best aspects of CT. That's 100% true, Mage. The smoothness of CT is something that you would not want to mess with. It would be like sticking airplane wings on the side of a sports car. Yeah, maybe it could fly or glide, but also you're going to slow that thing down. Let's see. And objectively, it has flaws, but for me, it didn't matter. Yeah, so this is why for us, we have a personal score section. Once you kind of can separate, you know, your experience from what is in the game, right? Sort of like if a tree falls in the forest and nobody's there to hear it, doesn't make a sound. Like, obviously it makes a sound, just nobody heard it. So, like, if a game is designed but nobody plays it, does the game really have design? Yes, it does. But it's just not been experienced by anybody yet. So that experience from the design that is actually there is something I love, exploring the boundaries, you know, how that overlap plays out. I love that. And it's kept me writing about video games for 12 years or so. But yeah, that website is thepixels.com, the-pixels.com, and that dash is like the little horizontal dash. And eventually I'll change that, but somebody had thepixels.com, unfortunately. And the website was previously the wellreadmage.com. But it grew to a point where it grew to a point pre-COVID where we had like 75 writers, so it just didn't seem right to have the website named after me. I mean, that was back when I started the website with like a couple of friends. But then COVID just kind of took my mood and my attention away to other things. So after that, we rebranded. As a position that cool, it causes the next one. You can avoid it by not letting it clump up like that. Yeah, trying to, because they take a lot of hits. At the end of Act 2, you can only play at night. Oh, anybody working on a review of Clair Obscur? Yes, actually. Are you interested in writing for us? We actually do have a, for anybody, we do have a, an application process. There was a point when I was able to compensate watching My Fair Lady. When I was able to compensate writers based on crowdfunding, that was thrown out the window when COVID hit, and basically our crowdfunding went to nothing. But we do have access to a lot of press keys that come in, and we do need help with press keys. Those are new games that we're given advanced copies for, and there's just too many to handle. I think we've got 12.5 active writers now, and there's obviously way more games than 12.5 people could ever play. So we do have an editor-in-chief, and that's been pretty handy and help with editing. So there's that if you're not confident in your writing ability. We do have some, not really coaching, like we're not going to write the thing for you, but you know, we are able to provide some feedback and help with a finished draft. But it's been good. It's a very much a hobbyist website. Yeah, there was no way I could take them all out fast enough there. That was much too quick. Only I had another coffin, or you could kick that coffin sideways. That'd be handy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my gosh. A little spooky down here. Am I even hitting it? Like, come on. Whew. I got a little hairy there for a second. 4 karma. All worth it. Let's see. Play a lot of retro. Thought it's crossed my mind a few times. You really should. Yeah, absolutely. We have Blasphemous 2 review. Wrote one when thinking about applying. Oh, heck yeah. Have you emailed me before about it? For outlets with competent reviews, can't tell you how much I cringe seeing IGN reviews. We used to joke that our motto was defeat IGN. Obviously not possible. IGN's got, you know, big money behind them. And like they're going to be guaranteed to get, you know, product right away and stuff like that. But we've also kind of recognized over time that we don't really want a piece of the mainstream pie. Being mainstream kind of creates its own problems, right? I remember reading this horrifying story. I think it was Polygon, where a writer got real sick, wound up in the hospital, missed his father's funeral because he was given a copy of Final Fantasy VII Remake like 4 days before launch, and you know it's a big site, so he had to hit the embargo and just stayed up for like 4 days straight playing this video game. And I'm like, at that point, you're not going to provide a good review, because like it's not relatable to anybody. Well, hopefully not. It's not relatable to the normal experience, the average experience, let's say, not rather than normal because of the connotation. It's not comparative to the average experience to stay up for 4 days straight to play a new game. It's just unrealistic. And, you know, getting sick is obviously going to affect your ability to problem solve and your ability to make what I think you could call meaningful observations, accurate observations about the game. So, and then too, on like a personal health and like familial level, that just seems, you know, really truly awful to miss things like that. You know, for what's just a video game. So I don't know. We've got a lot of mottos. I want to say one of my personal mottos is it's just a game. That kind of frees up some of the, gets rid of some of the pressure that can come with reviewing, especially high-profile video games. People will get very, very aggressive over a number in a review that they don't like for a game that they do like. But, you know, you can cautiously, comfortably remind them that it is ultimately just a video game. You know, I've been told, yeah, well, people make their income from it. Like, I make income from writing about video games a little bit. Most of my income right now is from freelance writing, but it is, at the end of the day, just a video game. You know, your family is certainly far more important. Your health is more important. So, anyway, just broad thoughts on that. But yeah, check out thepixels.com, the-pixels.com. I like to think that we provide balanced commentary and reviews on video games. Right now we're producing review cards as well, which are kind of easily distributable across social media. I think I'll get one more karma drop and then go out and save. And then I'll come back and grab whatever else is down here, just so there's no risk of losing all this progress. Oh my goodness. Getting kind of stuck at this point is the rough bit. Come on, one more. Just give me one more karma. I'm begging you. One more karma would be sweet. Give me 12 more karma. Heck, I'll take it. No, it's too fantastic. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay, we're halfway down. I think that's a good spot. Oh, dang. Okay, not enough heal points, so we gotta be sure about that. Oh, Cinco's here. How's it going? I'm sorry I could not keep up with the chat very well. Let's see. So yeah, Ray said like 5 minutes ago, MP is drained, best to leave and save. Yeah, we gotta be careful about that. Okay, let me see here. Wrote a few articles for Jeremy Parrish self-published stuff a while back. Oh yeah. Yeah. Pico here as well. Oh my goodness. Is that the creepy dog emote? Spooky, yes? Yeah, there's the mana. We should head back to the hotel. Pushing through games in a timely fashion, too much pressure for folks with full-time jobs. Yeah, finishing games for work is not fun, for sure. Oh, Cinco. Yeah, you remember this story, right? What publication was it for the FF7 remake review? Was it Polygon or was it IGN? Maybe it was Kotaku. I don't know. It was one of the big ones. So, and that's the thing with like not having pressure. Like, this is a hobbyist website. Unless you're handling a press key, there's not a ton of pressure. But like, if you're gonna request, you know, to cover a new, like Claire Obscure, but you don't review it in like 2 years, that's a different problem entirely. Let's see. Does that invalidate you? No. There's contrary to a lot of mainstream websites, there's no ideological standard that the Pixels requires of its writers. I'm glad you like the review cards, Krypton. That's very kind of you. Only if you try to defend the Whispers as a concept. I mean, our previous editor-in-chief, this is not why he is no longer at EIC, but our previous EIC was someone who I dramatically disagreed with about Final Fantasy VII Remake. But the Pixels is really about embracing that fact that, hey, we're going to disagree. Have reasons why, you know, spell that out. You have to clear all enemies on screen for karma to register. Interesting. That's the case, huh? A postcard style review card of the game box or screenshot with a review card on the other side. Oh, that would be interesting. Like to print those, huh? I do know a printer. You wish they hadn't made changes to the story. It's great. Yeah. Everything that I liked in 7 Remake was the authentic stuff and the combat for the most part. Every single like significant change was like, why? Like, spoilers, they kill Barrett at the end of the story and then revive him 30 seconds later. And it's just like, why? Like, do you think that's clever foreshadowing? Ooh, it's ridiculous. So thanks for being here, Baron. To get the karma, you need to feed all monsters. Oh, yeah, like Pico said. Kill whoever's left without spawning again. Oh, you're just poking fun of the game. Okay, I thought you might have known that story. Yeah, it was Prof Noctis. He loves his Final Fantasy. Yeah, and he's been honest about that to me. He's told me, I don't think I should review this because it's too much on a personal level. If a person can't separate that, then that's fine. That's their prerogative to do so. But I appreciate that he was honest with me about it rather than trying to write a review and not being able to. I have a backlog of karma. So that's why there's all that. Okay, so a bit of a danger now then. A bit of a danger. I'll need to try and see if I could sneak out of here. Oh, shoot. Here comes... Oh, I thought he was right behind me. He's right behind me, isn't he? I need to see if I can't. Oh my gosh. They just keep coming. Is there a handy way that you can think of to... See, now I'm getting scared. Is there a handy way that you can think of to avoid, you know, them respawning? Or, like... I assume as long as I'm standing here, they just kind of keep going. Okay, here's my way out. This guy. 16 karma. Sweet. Okay. Whew. Let me get out of here. That is dicey stuff. That is really spooky. Aim fast. That cursor can only move at 1 speed. I'll do my best, though. That was scary. Okay. Glad that's over. Glad that's over. That was very productive. And I think productive chats. Like I said, I quite enjoy... who's that? Oh, he's the guy that throws the stuff. I quite enjoy that conversation. Discussing video game criticism and stuff like that. Love it. Love it, love it. A ROM hack that utilizes the Mario Paint mouse? Really? That's hilarious. Edward Van Sloan in Dracula. My favorite character in that one. Love that that scene where he confronts the Count. And he's like, more wolfsbane, doctor? Something more powerful than wolfsbane, Count. And then he whips out the crucifix. And Dracula's like, ah! Great movie. Oh, that's 2 days in a row now that we've talked about Dracula. Which I'm fine with. Okay, dokay. We go sweep now. Sweepy by. Oh my goodness, almost 100 karma? Okay, so I'm gonna say let me get, without specific spoilers, let me get recommendations on what I should improve next. So we've got body at 13, magic at 7, firearm at 12, computer at 5, leadership at 2, negotiation at 2, powerball at 1, and heal at 4. I feel like dropping a bit more on heal makes sense. It's already up to 5. But now, as far as the rest of this, what do you think? Get more magic? That makes sense because I did run out of magic. We'll do that twice. Oh, 10's a nice even number. Leadership, RPG Elements says. Let's go to leadership. Okay. Heal, body, and firearm. Okay, so we did get more, a couple of those things. I've got 5 left. Should I save that, you think, or spend it on something? Only time I see the mouse being useful is to chase the arena guys that move fast. Yeah, if the speed of the cursor was adjusted to the speed of the mouse, it seems like it could be real useful for just aiming in general. But I don't know. I don't know. It might not be. The other thing is you can't hold the controller while you're using the mouse. So, like, they'd have to map all of the buttons to that. And that could be tricky. Could be tricky. Negotiation to say, well, we could bump that up to 3, sure. Oh, I bumped it up to 4, pushing the wrong button. Okay. That's plenty. Let's save and save. There we go. All right, let's get out of here. Yeah, it looks like heal stopped at 5. Like, once I bought the 5, then it was like, all right, now you can't improve that anymore. Okay. The Count from Sesame Street can summon lightning. You've heard it here today, folks. Well, let's see what else is in that basement. And then after that, we're going to look around. Best song. My goodness, this grind spot though. Crazy. Ghouls for grinding. Oh, that was weird. The dark bands were showing up for a second on screen. Not sure why. Okay. Oh my. Oh my, they're bunching up like ants. Let me try that again. Try that approach again. Maybe if they can't see me. Yeah, there we go. Rather than fight off friggin' 3 of those things. Okay, no. Uh-oh. Ghoulie. Oh my gosh, are you guys gonna push me off screen? Yep. Okay. Well, that's not super cool. Gosh. I was trying to see if I could take care of that guy behind the coffin. This is ridiculous. No! Let me go. I just want to go home. Wow. There's some very pushy zombies, you know? Oh my goodness. Okay, we've got a way down here. Let's see. Oh, they're even faster. What is that? Is that the... Okay. All right. Okay. What in the world? Yeah, we might need to go out. This is a bit scary. Mr. Tempa, how's it going? So anyway, I started blasting. Let's maybe go grind for the... Oh, you know what? I could sell the jacket that I got. Let's see. I just have the one shotgun. Okay, let me see if I can get out of here at all. Oh, yeah, you like that? Just play a little, oh, darn. Yeah, play a little keep away. Y'all got nothing on me. Okay. That area is spooky. You ever get scared playing a non-horror video game? It happens. Okay, let's see what this guy will offer me. Oh, yeah. You got to do this whole thing. Let's see if it'll let me. I don't know. Oh, yeah. No, it will. I forgot. So we're going to go here. Oh, and I can sell the old leather jacket. Let's see if I'll buy it. What? Oh, so you can't sell this? Or is there another shop that'll buy it? That's odd because he sells armor. Oh, he took 1,000 for that. Well, that's enough to get the boosted reflexes right there. But he won't buy unless it was the other mesh jacket. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So he just wouldn't buy the one off my back. Which makes sense as a bit of a protective feature. Okay. Okay, let's go to doctor. Go talk to the doctor. We got it. Nice. Scared playing a non-horror game. Every time you got up to a last boss in an NES game, you never knew you were gonna be able to finish the game or not. Oh yeah. Yeah. Especially if it's one of those you're like run out of lives, start the whole game over again. Yeah, that sort of thing can be tricky. Okay, I'm glad we tried the other mesh jacket. That long jump in World 8-1 of Super Mario Bros. 1 always scared me. Oh, the one where there's that tiny little block in like the middle. That one is scary. Ask about cyberware. Thank you, ma'am. And let's pick this up. Boosted reflexes. Get the jitters when you get close to killing a really tough boss. Yes! Yeah, the most recently happened to me when I was playing Armored Core 6. I got, like many people, was it Balteus? I think I got stuck on, and every time I was down to like his last fifth of health, like I would start like getting like shaking, you know? Like that was pretty scary. Yeah, it is. They definitely did not pull punches. I found it significantly harder than Elden Ring and Dark Souls. It is very much old school Armored Core. Quite good. But yeah. Okay. Just the cars. Beating Sans? Oh, on Undertale? Classic. Okay, so I picked it up. Somebody tell me, what does boosted reflexes do? So I know how to get the best usage out of it. Ninja Gaiden scared you as a kid. Ninja Gaiden's first stage scares me as an adult. What'd you say, Ray? You might be wrong. You might misremember. I think the dock gets more so self. You buy the initial batch. Oh, I don't know. We can always go back and check. Faster fire rate. Cool. Well, that's handy. It's very handy. It boosts your reflexes, of course. So I wasn't sure if it increases your ability to not get hit, like, you know, sort of like an evasion kind of stat or not. But being able to pull a trigger faster is neat. Let's see. So it's just like a static thing then, right? It's not an attribute that you actually... Like, I could just shoot a gun faster now. Cool. It's not something I gotta invest karma into. That's neat. Okay. That ought to help with zombies. Just do zombies the whole stream. One and done. It seems a little faster. Yeah, those games, I mean, like I could beat Contra. I've never beat Ninja Gaiden. I don't think I ever will. I've never beat Battletoads. Oh yeah, that seems faster. Not significantly, but pretty good. If you had a turbo controller, do I have a turbo controller? So this is not a turbo controller. This is a Hyperkin. It's wireless, so that I can sit across the room. I wonder if I have a turbo controller. I don't know that it would attach to the OG hardware though. That's the tricky part. For sure, yeah, that's a good argument for save states being valuable for practice. Okay. Y'all can just go down to your little hidey holes. If you time the shots well, you can get a fast fire rate. Really? I'm kind of just like mashing at this point. No, he's gonna push me out. I wish you could run faster than these guys, but I don't even know. Okay, is there anything in this direction that I'm going, like right over here? Or is this just like going back to the start? I don't know if it loops or anything like that. I'm not sure if this game has those kinds of puzzles in them. But yeah, I want to be careful about that as we're doing zombie stuff here. Just more zombies. Oh, it's a dead end. Okay. Thank you. Let me, thanks for waiting until I asked, too. Appreciate that. Okay, down here, there's some seriously spooky stuff. Oh, that was weird. It kind of seemed like it deflected. Yo, what in the world? Okay, I see a vampire down there, so... What happens if I use a strobe? Wouldn't it be great if it just killed all those things? Oh, for a second I was like, hey, can't hurt me. Can't hurt me up here. No, don't push me all the way up, though. That would just be rude. Okay, am I actually hurting him, or we gotta use the stake? Maybe we gotta use the stake. Let's see. Almost a cheese spot. Yeah, they pushed me up the stairs. Okay. Let me try the strobe again here. Let me muss my way through this. Again, this is a no spoilers run. I had to move it down to above the character's head, Red's head, because it was too intrusive at the top. And I think everybody gets the point. Oh yeah. Items. So he just runs at me. I'm gonna stick him with this thing. See if it does anything. Arg, I can't see. Oh no, you've stabbed me. Try the strobe again. So he just said it now. Arg, I can't see. Oh no, I'll never get my chocolate Cocoa Puffs or whatever it is. But strobe was too far away to count. Get it? I don't know. Maybe he said it looks like it counts now, right? Okay, because he's all oh. Okay, let's try it. Hit him with a paperweight. That'd kill anybody, really. Vampire or not.
Arg, I can't see. Wait, the steak. I have no A1 sauce. Oh, no.
There was a delay in chat. I got it. Okay, here we go. That delay, man.
I'll tell you anything. Just keep that steak away from me. I'm a vegetarian.
Told you everything you know. I'm not lying. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hang on now. The jester's name is not the name that I was given. Because that was in the file, right? So he lied to me about it. Okay, if that's true, that's pretty interesting. Because I don't know of many keyword games where a character will actively, like, lie to you about something. And this is a vampire, after all. We're going to run everything past this dude just to be safe. Ask about Count Chocula.
Oh, I kind of like the Frankenstein cereal a little better. It's so good. It's so good.
Somewhere Putin's listening and he's like,
how is he doing impression of me? This is not fair.
What else we got? Ice. And now let's ask about the Jester Spirit.
His name is Noranda. It's Noranda. You'll find him at Bremerton. Please go away.
Oh, maybe I was wrong. No spoilers. Only I'm able to spoil it. Nobody spoil it, Ray. Nobody. Not even you. If Kim Kardashian walked in right now and tried to spoil this game for me, I'd tell her to get out. Get out! And stop being on the news when I'm trying to watch the news for interesting things. Moose and squirrel. Hey, that goes way back. Not a fun show. That is a boring... Even when I was a kid, I was like, you know what? Rocky and Bullwinkle is a boring show. It's a really just... It's ugly, too. It's an ugly and boring show. Somewhere somebody's like... Who collects, like, Rocky and Bullwinkle, like, paraphernalia and has the world's biggest collection of Rocky and Bullwinkle stuff just felt a great disturbance in the force.
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if a million voices cried out Rocky and Bullwinkle is ugly and boring, and was suddenly silenced.
Almost done, so he didn't have much else to say. So, I don't know, I'm kind of tempted to actually just kill this guy. Nirvana and Nirvana. Yeah, that's cool. That's there. That's there for the rock fans. I wouldn't have caught that. Cinco, really? Really? Oh, how did I know? You must be joking. Now he's going to go into a tirade about how he's not joking. I don't know. I don't know. You think you know a guy. That's all I'll say. Captain N. Captain N. I saw a couple times. I don't know. Once I saw Mega Man, I was like, this isn't real. Okay, so I guess that's everything. Let's use the steak one more time. That'll show this guy.
Ah, leave me alone. I'm not hurting anyone. Go away. I've told you everything I know.
Double check. Ah! Oh! What? What? He was lying. Okay. So that's really impressive. Duplicity of NPCs in a game that's an RPG on the Super Nintendo based on keywords is pretty dang impressive. That's not something I expected to encounter. Not joking, but you're entitled to your bad opinion. Oh, my opinion's bad? Well, then that means that you have to defend it because it's so bad it's good. I've got your whole profile written down on a dossier. You can't get past me, Syncoplay. What a twist. That is pretty impressive, though. Wow. He does still deserve to die, for sure. He gave me the wrong name. So that was not a typo. That is the only clue that you have that he was lying, other than the fact that he's a blood-sucking vampire. And I just did that on a whim. I don't know if I would have done that. Why would I lie? Because you're horrible. That's why you would lie.
Let me just check one more. He's like, just kidding. It's Steve. Ha ha ha. Okay, what happens if you stab him again one more time? Hopefully he just bites the dust. Because he is a creature of the undead. Oh, sweet. We did kill him. The vampire had 5,000 nuyen. Look at all this. What a monster. And somebody who doesn't clean up after himself. Terrible. Terrible and sad. I bet you there's like an item hidden in this or some nonsense. Because that's how this game works. Okay, but seriously though, that cannot be understated. An NPC lying to you about a major key term. That really impresses me. I was never expecting that in this game, in which progress is tied to key terms. My goodness. He was also lying about the cereal. He does like chocolate? You know, you think you know a guy. Oh no, you can't get past me. I played soccer. Haha, FIFA. Take that. Okay, I gotta get out of here though. Na 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 na. Okay. What do you think? A little more grinding? I might do it. I might just do it. We've got almost 8,000 monies now. Could have been a dev mistake and they caught it really late, so they just added him lying for the first time instead of fixing it. I wonder. It feels like the like logic tree or whatever for the key term would have come first. But I don't know. If they'd intended for him to lie, dumping that clue in the computer is brilliant, right? Because then you're like, oh wait, but I was told, and like I thought it was a typo, because that's something that you would encounter, you know, or an error in the language, because you encounter that on Super Nintendo all the time. But the fact that it isn't, that's really cool to me. I think we'll grab a few more monsters here. Hello, monsters. There we go. No, he's gonna come around. Back off. Uh-oh, he's gonna do the jump. He's gonna do the jump. He's gonna do the jump. He did the jump, you guys. Some rando in chat me will bring up Simon's Quest as the first Nintendo game with lying NPCs. Simon's Quest, which I did like. Not in the contrarian sense, but just in the hey, this isn't bad. It was I mean, you could. Here's the thing: you gotta empathize with people who think stuff like that is bad. Like I could see why people don't like Simon's Quest. I had a positive experience. I want to say I streamed it. Yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's get out of here. Numbers scare me like spiders. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'd call it good. There's a lot of things in it that are, like, mean-spirited. But, like, things don't just have to fall into the, you know, it's either good or it is bad. Like, there could be a range of things, right? I think it's in that middle gray area for me. I could see why it frustrates a lot of people. There's stuff in there that I found frustrating, like kneeling at the cliff. That's a little silly. Come on now. Let's see. The retranslated version helps with the sticking points. Oh, that's good too. There's a lot of stuff in there that I did like. I like the RPG elements. I like kind of the openness of it. Music is great, of course. Okay, let's see what we've got in these cases. That's the Defiance. That's the Ares Viper pistol, whatever. It's the Uzi 30,000. My gosh. That's the grenades. Okay. So I guess that's it for now. A tight experience. Oh, the original Castlevania of the best of the classic set. Yeah, I think so. I think I can agree with that. There's not a ton that like is added to Castlevania 1 that can go wrong, you know? Simon's Quest is one of the best atmospheres of any NES game. That makes sense. For sure. I like the day and night cycles concept. I wish the final boss wasn't so lackluster in Simon's Quest, because it seems like a longish, it's a lot more RPG-ish, and then you kind of get there and it's like, well. See, now I've never played the third one to completion. Those are generally good games, though, for sure. I would include Simon's Quest 2, Super Mario Brothers 2, and there's another one. There's another 2 on the NES. That is often, you know, labeled as like a terrible 2, and it's not that bad. Trying to remember what it is. I can't even remember other sequels on the NES actually right now. Oh, Zelda. Thank you. Zelda 2. Yeah, Zelda 2 is one of those like I could see why people are frustrated with Zelda 2, but at the same like simultaneously these two thoughts can exist. People can be very frustrated with Zelda 2, understandably, and also you know, it could still be fun and playable. Yeah, the bosses aren't great in Castlevania 2. That was a disappointing point. It took me 4 or 5 tries, like serious attempts, to finally come around to enjoying Zelda 2. And I think it takes embracing like some early grinding and then getting through was it the Death Mountain section? Once you're through that, I feel like the game opens up and you kind of get a better sense of like what it is you've got to do to play this game. But every time I've played it before that, I stuck with it for just a little bit. And maybe it's one of those where the kids would say slow burn. Fair? Well, we try to be fair as much as we can. Sometimes I like being unfair. Full on admit. That's when I'm at my most sarcastic. But, yeah. I do think Zelda 1 is the more competent, for sure. What is this? Explosives, eh? It needs a detonator. Okay, let's pick that up. So this dude still won't let me pass, huh? Because of mermaids or something? Hey, you be looking for a ship, laddie. Yeah, we did that yesterday. We're not going to read all that again. Let me run. Okay, mermaids. Well, I've got a gun. We could just shoot mermaids. And he says they turned up a while back and have been here ever since. They seem to like the warm runoff from the sewers. Keeps the waters warm, of course. Can't say I don't like it myself, but it's been bad for business, don't you know? Okay, they like the warm runoff from the sewers. It's like shooting mermaids off the side of a boat. It's exactly like that. Thank you for saying my lips are sealed. I appreciate that. Let's say 2s back then had to be super different for some reason than the 3s they got back to what made. Yeah, exactly, right? Now, I think that those 3 2s, Zelda 2, Castlevania 2, and Mario 2, are kind of the big examples of that. I think Mario 2 USA is much better than Lost Levels. Lost Levels is not a great game. You want to talk mean-spirited design? That game. There are things there as like, what did they like actively hate humans when they designed some of the things in that? It is a hateful design. Exactly what it feels like. Not kind. Not kind. It's like where the game, like, plays a joke on you and then it, like, points at you and laughs and goes, haha, gotcha. Which is not a great feeling. Not a great feeling at all. Okay, so there is a door in the warehouse that we've not been into yet. I don't know if that's the door that we need to get to, but I think it's the only area in this spot where I've not been yet. This door right here. Door is locked. So I have a bronze key. We'll see if that does anything, but I tried the other keys, beg your pardon, and they don't fit. That key doesn't fit. Let me take a look. I've not used the crowbar for anything. It won't budge. What about blowing it up? But we need a detonator. Can't use it without the detonator. Okay. Well, you can use a paperweight as a detonator, obviously. Okay, not a whole lot else there. Let me take a look what was in here. Oh, yeah. Maybe since we defeated the vampire, we get some new dialogue. I don't know. We'll ask about Laughlin. Japanese version is one of those games that gives me the jitters at the end. Yeah, there's things like when you jump over a pit and there's an invisible block. It's like, ha ha. It's like that character on The Simpsons, like a bully. Crifton, gotta bounce. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Cinco play with the... I don't want to call you contrarian because I respect you far too much to say that. But every time we've cited a bad game, you've been like, that is one of my favorite things ever. And that's okay. It's okay with me. The game that pranks you not in on the joke. I like that you phrased that way. I think that's very self-aware and intelligent. You said, I ended up finding enjoyment in it. That seems pretty dang mature. In all honesty. Like, I know I rib you all the time, but in all honesty. It kind of reminds me of when we were talking about... you know, like growing familiar with a game and playing it enough times to endear yourself to that experience. I think that's a very real thing. Okay, so he did not react to Laughlin. What about mermaids? That is honestly scary to me. He says a spirit of technology in decay. It's scary to me that that's a thing. Okay, let's ask about mermaids here. Nope. You got nothing? To summon my help, you will need 2 items of my pack. Okay, I've got a dog collar. Right? What happens if... Let me try something here. Ba-ba-ba-bo. Ba-ba-da-ba-bow. Or does he just go away like as soon... Oh, wait, what did he say? He just said something else. I was going to try and give him this dog collar, but he can't even do that, so never mind. What did he say? Darn it. Now I got to do it again. Bwah, 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 bwah. No, I know you're not being a contrarian, and that's what I said. I said specifically, I respect you too much to call you a contrarian. I don't think you are. I said it's funny whenever we mention a bad game that you're like, hey, that's my favorite game. But I also gave you a good compliment here, I think. Let's see. We gotta go... Oh, yeah, no. I just want to see what it is. To cast armor, you will need the scales of a cold and of a warm-blooded creature. Okay, so he's just giving us different information on different spells, I guess. Let me see, because there was something about invisibility I would like to know about. Bra, bra. To cast freeze, you'll need the residue of 2 sea creatures. Okay, so yeah, it's just that. That's just that stuff. It's just that stuff. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Okay, he said, hot take, Lost Levels is a bad port of Super Mario Brothers 2. Oh. I can believe that because Super Mario Brothers 3 on All Stars feels off in comparison to the NES version. Now, what I'd like to see is I'd love to see somebody put together a comparative, side-by-side footage of the speed of the game and all that sort of thing. I know somebody did that with Mario running in different games, and I thought that was very interesting. But you can definitely tell when you play All-Stars and then you play the NES versions of those games. It's definitely different. Now, what would you attribute that to? Is that something that's sloppy, or is that just the different speed of the Super Nintendo? What is that? Very first jump in World 8-4 of Lost Levels? The only version of Lost Levels that I've beaten is on Super Nintendo. But I definitely had to abuse save states for that, which completely eradicates any like objective sense of the game's difficulty. Okay, so sewer. Something about the sewer. Got to turn off sewer stuff. Or presumably find a key. There's more rebound off of enemies in SNES. See, and this is objective stuff. Like, I often talk about objectivity in video game critique. This is it right here. Like, we're actually talking about measuring specific speeds and distances and things like that. Oh, missed it. There it is. There it is. We got it. Okay. I gotta give it the old think. How to get rid of mermaids. I guess I could go ask around. Oh, another thing I wanted to do is check on Ray's suspicion earlier that there are more things to purchase from the doctor. I think I was told earlier to get the Jester Spirit trapped before we go and encounter Drake. There's that other building that has a password in it. Unless I missed something in the vampire castle. Yeah, that's a good example right there. Mega Man The Wily Wars. That one definitely feels different from the NES games. I remember when I got Mega Man, what is it, 7 for Super Nintendo. It felt dramatically different than playing the NES ones. I mean, we could try it. It's no skin off my back. We're just gonna run there. It'll be good to know for sure. For sure. A lot stickier. Yeah, I know what you mean. The one thing that bugged me in Mega Man 7 is how slow his charge up is. There's an extra delay there. Okay. Yeah, nothing here in the doctor's office. Let's check in here. I don't think I did on... standing right in front of the door. Of course you can't open it, silly. I don't think there's anything in here. No. I wonder if he knows anything about mermaids. Let's find out. Street Doc. Talk to the street duck. Got any more cyberware? Seems like I'm out of stock. I don't think I'll be able to get quality merchandise like that anytime soon. Mermaids. No. Startling change from 6 to 7 for sure. There's a lot of talking in 7, yeah. I like that there's a shop in 7. It kind of gives a Mega Man game a little more depth. But I remember being kind of surprised that you start the game and the first level opens with like a dialogue sequence. Just let me shoot robots. It's a Mega Man game. Like I don't really need a story, you know? It's okay that it controls differently. Yeah, I don't know that. I don't know that it's easy to say which one's better or not, but noting the difference is interesting, regardless of the qualitative level. Yeah, I like 7 as well. It's not a game that I despise or anything. Trying to think if there is a Mega Man game that I do not like at all. Probably X5. Like X4 is like the last time that I was like, okay, I can see this is on its way out, but it's still good. And then when I get to X5, I'm like, Oh yeah, the Game Boy ones. I always want to get into those and just wind up kind of not. Like every time I'll play them, can't do it. Let's see. I think I'll just hang on to that 10 there. Yeah, you can see why it fizzled out, unfortunately. What did you not like about Mega Man 4, out of curiosity? That one's one that I've endeared myself to because it was one of the first games that I bought with my own cash. But now I'm trying to remember what are like its distinguishing features. I know a lot of people like 3. Which is the one that, is it 6 that has the red suit with the jetpacks on it? Okay. Let me see, what time is it? Oh, it's 2:39. We still got plenty of time. Let me think. Let me go to the club here. I haven't played much of 3. I did beat 3, but the ones that I remember most are 1, 2, 4, and whichever one had Nightman in it. What was that, 6? Yeah, I don't think any of the NES ones are flat out bad. I think they're all pretty great. Oi, chama. Whichever one had Nightman, Tomahawk Man, and Blizzard Man, I think that's 6. I found that one really tough. I remember finding it really tough when I was a kid. I haven't played it for a long time. But I also can't remember why it seems so difficult. Okay. Let's ask about a few things here. Laughlin, she didn't respond to. Mermaids. No. You're like my one contact. Let's try calling Bibbida Bobbida Shaman on the phone. Get the cred stick. You know what that would be interesting in this game, I think, and I don't know that it would break it, is if there was a character that you could call at any point for like a cryptic plot-related clue. Because there's been a couple points in the game where I'm like, okay, I have no idea what to do next. Like right now. So here, give me chat a clue as cryptic as possible. Because I'm not sure what to do next at this point. Yeah, there's some mean-spirited design in Mega Man 1 for sure. There's some parts that I don't like playing on Mega Man 1. Gutsman, I don't like doing the dropping platforms. I don't like that. The dog holds the key. Anybody but Ninja Temper is allowed to to offer a clue. What is the opposite of heat? Look at my keywords. Oh, ice is the opposite of heat. If I could throw ice in the water. How much ice am I carrying? Check the places where you gather info. Okay, look at your keywords opposite of heat. There was a temporal element to what the boat dock guy said to you. Time, right? And not temperature. 3 is a favorite that isn't X. X is fantastic. BT dubs, it has to be said. Let's see. Only things I didn't like about 4 related to charge up the sound was far too piercing, forced you to always hold the button while playing, would be underpowered for enemies that pop up on screen. Slowed down too much. There is a lot of slowdown. Toadman stage. Quite a bit of slowdown. May need to put down the dog. Oh, temperature. Okay. No, it's all good, Pico. It's all good. Okay. Let me see you go back here. Based on this, let me try a couple things here. Because in my head, I envisioned like Jake carrying around like a cup of ice, at most like a bag of ice. And in my head, I was always like, he's gonna give this to a bartender. But I did not connect those dots. That's the fun thing about some correlation in point-and-click adventures. And you're like, oh, my brain did not do it. Brain did not. Who gave me the ice keyword? I remember that. It was a guy at one of the nightclubs. I think the one up far north. I'm going to try something real quick. If that doesn't work, then I'll go peep that nightclub. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. Like how there was just an explosive lying in the middle of the docks here. Not doing anything. Minding its own business. Just waiting for its detonator friend to show up. Okay. Double checking that. Boom, boom. Just threaten him with the gun and then we'll be on our merry way. Okay. Now let's check this. Yeah, that was something I expressed early on this game. I feel like it was on the first, if not the second stream. It was nice to play something where you actually had to really think. You know? Feels like if they made this today that Jake would be like telling you in fully voiced dialogue. Hey, I've got that thing that I could put the thing in and oh, that would help solve this problem. Push O to climb a ladder. Oh, yeah, Ancient Cave Run. Now you're talking. Dang, I wish that was on a separate cartridge. I wish it was, just so I could just do that. You need to rub the cooking oil on a sunbather's back so his skin crisps up and you peel off his tattoo. That makes sense. Oh, my gosh. Can I shoot this? No, because that doesn't make any sense. A radio buddy remind you? Yeah, something like that. They don't even show you the puzzle before they tell you the answer. Really? Persona 5 does that? Woof. That's not pleasant at all. I don't know if I've encountered that. That's pretty mean. Hey. Yo, dude, what's going down? Got any ice? Chiller is the dude over there in the corner. This guy? Just because I'm smart don't mean I'm no library. Okay, let me try a couple things. Ratty Pumpkin, how's it going? Strategy guides, sellers. I miss strategy guides. It's an extra thing to buy for sure, but if you got stuck, it was cool to have the art and some of the game's assets displayed. Ratty Pumpkin, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. Not that kind of ice? Oh, is this a different kind of ice? I'm confused. Okay, let me just run things past this guy. I don't know. I feel like things are so cool. Things are like so cool, especially now that the guy with the ice delivered. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, and to be quite honest, I mean, I bounced off of Shadowrun plenty of times, but some games, you know, like I've met some people where like, if it's not catching my attention in the first 10 minutes, then I won't play. It was like, you've got to give some games a little longer than that. Oh, Blythy Poo got to stay late today. Her bosses, they don't know what the heck they're doing. All right. Anyway, no, that's good. I'll go pick up the kiddos here in a little bit. Allergy seasons? Oof. I know that feel. Strategy guys, unfortunately, like other old stuff, has gone way up. Yeah, I was talking about this the other day. Like, if you're looking for old stuff, I would recommend trading with other collectors or looking for sellers who don't really have much value for the thing that they're selling. But if you're going by like price charting or online stuff, like forget it. That's all like artificially inflated too. Okay, so is there somebody else here? Cuphead during the tutorial. Oh yeah, yeah. You got a reason for being in my face? Trying to watch the band. Okay. Well, I am gonna annoy you because I'm gonna run everything past you. That's our due diligence, as Geodude put it. Got to make sure every single key term has been analyzed before we proceed, just so that I don't miss anything. Because if we miss something, then that's not cool. This like this rock and roll racing song is so great. Sounds just like Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, ice. Sure, I can get you ice. I only deal in it a ton at a time. Costs you 100 nuyen only? Sure, give me a place where you want it dumped. How about you just stick it where the mermaids are? Okay, how about Bremerton? No way, you'll be lucky to find anyone delivering out there. Forget it. Okay. The docks. You got it. I'll do it as soon as the band finishes this song. Sweet. Okay, so the clue was the ice key term and remembering that the guy needed ice, and it's a heat puzzle. Got it. That makes sense. That's not very Moon logic-y. It's not like Super LucasArts, like, you gotta put the ice in the microwave, obviously. $100 for a strategy guide. That's way too much. But also, you know, I get it that, like, they're not making more of these, and these are getting progressively older artifacts. I know, 100 nuyen for a ton of ice? Sign me up. Just start shooting civilians until something unlocks. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Temper. There was a shop down here I want to say this was a real hole in the wall place. They had a bunch of strategy guides, not for like big, huge top games, but they had a bunch, and they were like in the $5 to $10 range. So yeah, I would always encourage people, if you don't want to pay crazy prices, just look around. You'll find somebody who just wants to get rid of things. No, yeah, I agree, single play, and I've said before of Dean that he had the maturity to, you know, like afterwards be like, hey, this is not my genre and I wasn't reviewing it, you know? But he posted it initially as a joke and the backlash was extreme. You know, posting it as a joke, that's on him, obviously, but it makes sense, yeah, that like you're not gonna be good at everything. I'm not good at first-person shooters. So you won't find me reviewing any, that's for sure. Unless it's like Metroid Prime or something like that. A lot easier. Kingsfield? Who mentioned Kingsfield? Oh, there it is. Sarge Smash. Kingsfield. ROMs are free. The emu evangelist has shown up to the party. What the heck? You know what's my favorite new tactic whenever an annoying emulator evangelist shows up is just ask them what are ROMs, like with a straight face online. And they launch into this huge mansplaining, like, like dialogue about, or monologue really, about like what ROMs are. And you just keep asking questions and waste a ton of their time. And then afterwards you tell them you already knew. It's great. It's great. It makes me feel good. Okay. Mr. Epajika. Okay, let's see. We be looking for a boat. Take me to Bremerton. Fareway, there be dragons and other nasties around there. You can hire a boat for 1,000 yen up front. If you don't like it, you can leave it. Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, chummer. Go right on down. Oh, yes. New cutscene. Look at this. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, we're here on a boat. That is not what I would call seaworthy. Wow. Rusted shut, huh? Seems like as good a place as any to use a crowbar. No! The ever useless crowbar. Rusted shut. Really? Just... okay. Oh no, there's a gang leader. He's just trying to enjoy his boat trip. Okay, they're all rusted shut. Let me catch up on chat here. Okay, nothing there. Still rusted shut. Guess we'll just see what's at the back of the boat. Oh, I gotta check the time too. The time. Who's got the time? We got another maybe 15 minutes tops. 15, 20 minutes, something like that. Oh, see, now I missed my chance to tell Ninja Temper you could just get those Nintendo Power magazines on archive.org. So why do you need the physical stuff? Because it's fun. That's the point. Oh, that's a doggy. Target is not visible? Okay. Do they really expect you to shoot a dog on this? Oh, yeah, they do. That would rile some people up. An ID tag for a dog. Remember when Last of Us 2 came out and they're like, hey, be careful, you have to kill a dog. Like, people have been playing games for 30 years. They're like, had to do that plenty of times. There's Terrams. Yeah. You should sell your physical copies and live La Vida Loca. There's a little thing called archive.org. If you like, I could talk to you about it for the next 30 minutes straight. All right, we got 2 dog things, so that means I should probably get an item at some point. Oh, it worked. It actually worked. Oh, there it goes. Okay, what about this one? It's weird that it only worked on that one. Yeah. Huh. So you'd have to check all these. But that one makes sense because it's at the end. Poison ooze. Not in my house. Get off my boat. Yeah, I don't know that this boat is seaworthy. It'd be hard to actually call it seaworthy. Uh-huh. And... that's weird. Okay. All right. Yeah, I would not want to take your physical magazines away from your single play. There's a beauty to physical items. You haven't played that far? Oh, you did have to. We actually did have to kill the dog. So that was a thing. That was a thing here. Wolfenstein 3D replaced the dogs with giant rats. Yeah, they did not pull that punch here. Right. No, Sarge, you're totally right. You're totally right. It's one of the things where I think people have like a disproportionate or busted sense of empathy. Like, yeah, killing a dog is bad. Just going around killing humans is also pretty bad too. But you know, who am I to judge? A lot of people do like dogs more than people. Yeah, no, they do. I remember reading a study, and I noticed I've mentioned this before. I don't know where to go in here. I don't know if there is anywhere to go. I guess not. But yeah, it was asked a bunch of people if you saw a dog drowning and a human drowning, and you only had time to save one, which would you save? And like, majority of people said the dog, and I was like, that. To me, that feels wrong. I mean, obviously, everybody's got their own opinion on that, but I think there's a lot more potential in a human than a dog. But I'm not suggesting that means that a dog's life is worthless. What makes the question challenging is that there are 2 lives. But that's maybe a bit more nuanced than what some conversations would suggest. See, and that makes it even more, like, once you start adding clarifiers, it's like, what if it's like your dog versus a mass murderer, like a genocidal maniac, or like, but then it's like, okay, what if it's like a dog with rabies versus a child? You know, like you could go either way adding clarifiers, but I think at base level the question is at its most interesting because then you're not skewing it in one way or another. Letting people be sexy is bad, but ripping a spine out of a dude's back, yeah. There's definitely some lopsided things. I don't know that I checked all these doors. I'm gonna go ahead and do that just to be on the safe side. It was kind of weird that like we got into that spot, but there were only 2 slimes in there. I did not see a way to open up that other door. Right, like if it was, obviously this is the most extreme example you can say. Like if it was my dog, if it was my puppy versus Hitler and I had to save one from drowning, that's a pretty obvious choice, right? If it's like a rabid dog versus like a child, to me that's also an obvious choice. There's got to be something up there that I just didn't see. Let me go back up there. What if Hitler was a baby? If we can identify that it's Hitler, then I think that that's still part of that clarifier. But I think that's bound up in the word potential, really. You know, humans obviously having dramatic potential for evil and potential for good, far more than a dog's. I noticed you didn't say which you would save. You're not going to squeeze info out of me like that. Like, I am well aware I'm on recording. So, enjoy that fact. A zombie baby on a chicken versus a dog that will eat you. When, what was the name of the dog that, this is deep Tolkien stuff. What was the name of the dog that, was owned by Melkor in Beren and Luthien? It was like Karkaroth or something. Karkaroth? Like if it was save Karkaroth versus save my baby, like again, you can skew it in either direction. What if it's your puppy versus Ninja Temper? How many times has my puppy lied to me? Exactly. And this is another question, right? Should you kill Hitler as a baby or influence his life in a way that he doesn't become a mass murderer? That point is still innocent. If you have the option to influence his life in a way where he doesn't become a mass murderer, that's pretty good. Dog Bombigal? Was it Kakarot? There were two. Oh, Kakarot. That's funny. I almost didn't catch that. Let me see. It was, I want to say it was Karkaroth. It was. I actually remembered this. Karkaroth was bred from the foul breed of Draugluin, the first werewolf, and fed with elvish and mannish flesh by Morgoth himself. He was the greatest, most powerful wolf to ever live. Karkaroth was set as a guard on the gates of Angband, and later he mortally wounded Huan, the Hound of Valinor, and Beren. Oh yeah, look, I get the goosebumps every time we got. Okay, maybe I gotta touch this thing. Nope, that didn't do nothing. Die, poison ooze. Okay, what is in here? What do I gotta do? There's a thing there, so maybe there's like a secret entrance behind that. Maybe? Question mark? I don't know. Yeah, Minority Report definitely wrestles with that question. Okay, I don't know. Now, here's a question. Did I soft lock myself coming here? Like, did I need the detonator before I got on the boat? Because I'm not sure what to do at this point. I may need to just leave it on until tomorrow. If I didn't, what do I got to do to get to a save point in like the next 10 minutes? Yeah, dogs in Lord of the Rings, dogs in Middle-earth. Oh, there were werewolves in Middle-earth. Once you get into the first age stuff, there's so much good stuff in there. Tolkien, oh, he did kill the dog. And my favorite story, too, Pixel Hunt in that room, my favorite part of that story, too, with Beren and Luthien is they're trying to steal the Silmarils back from Morgoth. And they get a hold of one. Beren's got it in his hand. The wolf charges at him. And this is like a gigantic wolf, like an enormous wolf. He punches the wolf in the face, and the wolf turns its mouth and swallows his arm that's holding the Silmaril in his hand. And the Silmaril, being a holy jewel, just lights the inside of the wolf's guts on fire. And it runs rampant through the countryside, just like in a manic killing spree. There's so much like crazy stuff that Tolkien wrote that's not just like Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Yeah, not Ninja Ted. Don't let him talk. Yeah, I'm not sure. take the ferry back. But how do I take the ferry back? Is there somebody to talk to? Or am I not supposed to? Did it already arrive? Why does it ignite the wolf? Because it's a holy jewel. And when it was made, Feanor had said that it would burn the hands of anyone who touched it, who was wicked, basically. So this evil wolf swallows it, so it steadily burns his insides. Rad. If you've never read The Silmarillion, there is an excellent audiobook from Andy Serkis that's out recently. He does amazing at doing voices in The Silmarillion, and there's like 4,000 characters in that. He does Ungoliant, the giant black spider. This amazing, like, deep black heart. It's so good. I love it. Okay, can I just, like, waltz off of this? That's weird. That's weird. So, like, it's in the middle of the ocean. You just walk off, and they're like, okay, we'll take you back. I was not suspecting that. Yeah, the wolf was evil. It was guarding the gates of Angband, which is the stronghold of Morgoth, the first Dark Lord. So, yeah, definitely evil. Evil wolf. Evil wolf bad. Just look at the room. There was, like, 2 holes in the room, a stairway, a door that wouldn't open, and, like, a causeway up at the top. I didn't see nothing. But maybe I've been looking at this screen too long. We'll have to come back and look at that next time. Read it around grade 6. Remember, it's good. Can you remember a lot? You read The Silmarillion in grade 6? I can see you reading, like, The Hobbit in grade 6, but The Silmarillion in grade 6 is intense. That's like, I don't want to say it's like War and Peace in grade 6, but that's pretty extreme. I mean, props to your teachers. Okay, The Hobbit is a classic. I gotta go, my friends. It's been great hanging out with you. Tomorrow we'll figure out what the heck was in that room. I don't know. It was weird. I'll just like go in there and stand still and look around. Yeah, no, you've lied to me, Temper. So those Silmarils would burn right through those little grubby sausage fingers of Yarn. But we'll see you next time. It was found the Silmarillion in the library, grade 6. Nice. Should also read, if you want to read extended Middle-earth stuff, you should read The Children of Húrin, which is Tolkien's only real tragedy. Pretty dark stuff. You should read The Fall of Numenor, which came out just a few years ago. You should read Beren and Luthien, which unfortunately went unfinished, so you kind of get like 2.5 versions of that story in that book. And then I'm trying to find The Fall of Gondolin myself. But hey, anyway, I got to talk a little bit about Tolkien. That's always great. I'll see you folks next time tomorrow, 1 p.m. Central. Tell your friends, Children of Húrin. There is an audiobook by Christopher Lee for The Children of Húrin. It's excellent.
It's like, and then there's Children of Húrin.
Isn't that like amazing, like deep voice that he has? It's so good. But yeah, if you can't do the real books, audiobooks are always great. Oh, I gotta stop talking about Tolkien. I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.